My girlfriend ended things with me because her buddies at work got in her head. My girlfriend just ended things with me, and it all comes down to the group of women she works with. I have been with Kate, my girlfriend, for 5 solid years, though before that we had a rocky couple of years where we were on again, off again. Honestly, she was my first for a lot of things. First real relationship, first time I ever brought a girl to prom, first serious fight, first everything. We went to all the school dances together, spent holidays with each other's families, and when things got hard, we always stuck by each other's side. I have known from the beginning that Kate was way out of my league, but I did everything I could think of to make sure she felt safe with me, felt like I was someone she could always count on. I love her completely, and I wanted my life to be with her. After high school, I went to college and worked my way through a double major while she decided to go to cosmetology school. The plan was simple: we were going to move into a place together soon, and we had already had some real conversations about marriage and kids. Lately, though, she had been dropping weird little comments, things like, "The girls at work do not get why I am still with you," or, "One of the girls said I could do way better," or, "They all want me to come out with them and meet new people." I never knew what to say when she said stuff like that. Whenever I asked her how she actually felt, she always told me the same thing: that she loved me, that she ignored them, that she even told them to knock it off. But the comments kept coming. She works at a salon, and it is all women working there, so it is like this non-stop gossip circle. For the record, she never cheated on me, there was no secret guy, no emotional affair, no sketchy apps or hidden social media accounts. I never doubted her that way. A couple nights ago, we had a nice date. Dinner, walked around, nothing crazy, but it felt good. Even after I dropped her off, we had a little moment in the car, nothing wrong at all. Then, out of nowhere, she says she is having second thoughts about us and wants to break up. It hit me so hard I could not even say anything. I just got out of there and left. I know for a fact it was those women at work that got in her head and turned her against me. She even admitted it herself in a message later. Not even 4 hours passed before my phone started blowing up. Kate was calling over and over, sending text after text, saying she was sorry, saying she did not mean it, swearing up and down that she loved me and just got caught up listening to those so-called friends of hers. She said she was quitting the job, cutting those women off, starting fresh. I did not answer any of it. Right now, I have just shut down. I love this girl, I cannot lie about that. I already have a custom ring being made for her, and I have been saving up money for our future house. Most of our friends are friends we made together, about 85% of them, with the rest being people from our separate jobs. Word about the breakup spread fast, and now even our mutual friends are messaging me, totally confused, wondering what happened. Some of the messages make it clear Kate told them the truth, that it was her co-workers' constant trash-talking that got to her, and she gave in to it. Her parents have tried reaching out too. We are pretty close, but I have not replied to anybody. Since my job is remote, I packed up my laptop and just left my apartment for a while. I found a little spot with decent internet where I could work and try to clear my head. Truth is, I feel completely lost. I do not even know what I am supposed to feel right now. I did everything I could for her. I do not even know what advice to ask for. I just know I need something. Quick update: after I first posted about all this, my boss messaged me saying he needed to meet with me right away on a video call. When I joined, his face popped up, and right behind him were 2 police officers. Turns out somebody, they would not tell me who, asked the police to check on me. They went to my apartment, saw I was not there, went to my work, found out I was not there either. My boss was the one who remembered I was working remote, so he called me to check if I was alright. I had to explain I was fine, I just had my phone off because I needed space from all the drama. I am supposed to go see Kate's parents tonight. Another update: we ended up not having that meeting with her parents last night. I told them I would come tonight instead. Life sure knows how to kick you when you are already down. When I was going through all the missed calls and voicemails last night, I got one from the jeweler telling me the ring I had ordered was ready to pick up. That is supposed to happen today. I also want to apologize for the mess and how I wrote everything. My mind has been scrambled the last few days, and I appreciate everyone who left comments. I will probably check in again either tomorrow or Sunday. One more update, this was all on February 25, 2023. Kate and I had been together since we were teenagers, and all of it ended because her co-workers decided I was not good enough for her. They convinced her I was below her level, and eventually, she believed them. Thanks to everyone who messaged or left comments. These last few days have drained me in every way possible. On Friday, I finally cleared out all my voicemails and text messages. 61 missed calls, 4 from the police, 14 voicemails, and 417 text messages. I sent out one group message to everyone just saying I was safe, I needed time to figure things out, and I would reach out when I was ready. I went and picked up the ring because it was already paid for, then I put it in this little box I made myself. I finally went to see Kate's parents like I said I would. The second I parked, Kate came flying out the front door crying her eyes out. She gave me this hug, and I let her, but it was not the kind of hug I would have usually given her back. Then she leaned in to kiss me, and I turned my head away. We went inside, sat on the couch, and just sat there for what felt like forever without saying a word. Eventually, she started sobbing again and told me she was sorry. All I could say was, okay. I asked her what she had told people, and she said she told the truth. I asked why the police were sent to check on me, and she said it was not her. It was some of our friends. Nobody had heard from me in over a full day, so they panicked and called for a wellness check. Kate said after I walked away, I looked so broken that the only word she could think of to describe me was catatonic. I had a list of questions people online told me to ask, so I started going down the list. I asked why she broke up with me, and she did not have one clear answer, just said all the stuff her coworkers kept saying made her insecure and doubtful about our relationship. I asked why she let that go on instead of shutting it down, and she said she tried, but every time she stopped them, they would just start up again the next day. She asked me why I just turned around and left like that. I told her the truth, right then and there, because in that exact moment, just a couple of sentences were enough to break something deep inside me and make me question everything I had built so far, all the plans I had made for us, everything I was working toward. I had been busting my back trying to make moves to give us the kind of life I figured we both wanted. She started crying even harder after I said that, and I felt like the biggest jerk alive. What I did next, I wish I could take back. I asked her if she had even the slightest idea that I had been planning to propose to her soon. She shook her head no, and that is when I reached into my pocket and pulled out the box I had made with my own hands. It was not some store-bought thing. I built it myself. It had 2 buttons on it, one that said yes, the other that said no. When you pressed a button, lights inside lit up words asking, "Will you be my life partner?" I set it down right there on the table between us, and I pressed the yes button to show her. The box popped open, and she broke down all over again. The ring inside was something I spent months getting just right. It had both of our birthstones forming this heart shape, like a whole heart, with tiny diamonds circling around it, and on the inside band were our initials along with the date we officially became a couple. I even had it designed so we could add to it when we had kids, because I always figured we would. Her parents were there, not saying much, just keeping the peace in case things got ugly. Her mom was crying too, and her dad looked mad, but I could tell it was not aimed at me. They both had some things to say about the ring and the box, and all I could do was tell them the future I had been working for was not happening anymore. I told her we needed space, real space, not some couple of days kind of thing, at least 3 months with no contact, nothing at all. We needed to step back and figure out who we really were without each other and what we wanted out of life going forward. After those months, we could check in and see where we stood, but it would be on my terms and my timeline. The ring, well, I cannot return it, and I honestly do not know what I will do with it. Maybe I will give it to her if, after those months, we realize we are really done for good. She told me most of our friends we both shared had cut her off completely, told her off, then blocked her. Her parents were still mad at her, and her little sister had not spoken to her since that first night. All I could say was actions have consequences, and I was sorry it turned out like this. I thanked her parents for everything they had ever done for me and gave them both a hug. I knocked on her little sister's door before I left. I have known that kid her whole life, thanked her for being part of my life too, gave her a hug, and walked out. I still had 4 months left on my lease, but I was already thinking about skipping town once it was up. For that night though, I had a date with a good friend named Mr. Johnny Walker, just for the night. Tomorrow, I was going to pick myself up and figure out what comes next. I did not know if I would be telling anybody about it after that or not. And the truth is, if things had not fallen apart the way they did, I would have asked her to marry me that very night, February 28, 2023, at midnight. Our first date had been on a leap day, so I figured we could get married on leap day next year, make it a whole thing. Anyway, about 2 months back, my girlfriend, or I guess my ex-girlfriend now, broke up with me because her work friends were filling her head with a bunch of noise. Hello to everybody on Reddit. This is me checking in, like a follow-up I guess. A whole lot of people reached out, and I just wanted to say thanks for all the kindness. To the negative folks out there, and sorry if your name really is Nancy, but I hope you stub your toe in the middle of the night when you get up to pee. This might be the last time I tell this story. I will try to keep it all in order. After I made that last post, I did my best to pull myself together. I barely talked to Kate for weeks until about a week ago, but I will get to that. I did what I said I would do. I took time to look at myself, really think things over, had some long talks with my therapist who has been seeing me for a while now, and I spent time with my friends, just getting back to being me. It actually started to work. I got to where I was not thinking about her every second of the day. Sure, there were times I still felt low, but I was getting my feet under me again. I threw myself into work for a while, too much if you ask my therapist, so I backed off and kept a more normal schedule. What I heard about Kate during all this was she got herself into therapy too, quit her job in a way that guaranteed they would never take her back, and she found something new in a whole different line of work. She even decided to go back to school next spring. Every now and then, she would ask some of our friends if they had seen me, how I was doing. They mostly just told her I was doing fine, getting by. I actually saw her in person a few weeks after we split. My heart did this stupid little jump when I saw her. She was not the girl I remembered. She looked worn down, like life had beat the hell out of her. She was out with some other friends, trying to smile and laugh, but I could see right through it. She never saw me. It did not really hurt to see her that way, it was just something. I still have the ring. It is packed away somewhere safe. The box I ended up tweaking a bit and gave it to a buddy to use for his proposal. He told me I should sell the ring, but I could not bring myself to do it. Overall, I was getting back on my feet. I was still sticking to the no contact rule, but life does not always care about plans. A few things got in the way of that. We ended up running into each other twice. First was her little sister's school play. I had promised that kid I would be there, and a pinky promise is serious business. The second time was at a friend's birthday party. We kept our distance, made a little small talk, then just blended into the crowd. But everything changed about a week ago. Most of that day is a blur, but my friends filled in the gaps. For about a month, I had been getting these killer headaches, right behind my eye. My vision would go blurry. I figured it was stress, just life kicking me around, so I ignored it. I was out with my buddies, walking around, talking, shopping, and I was feeling off, but I pushed through it. They said we were just walking when I slowed down, stumbled, and almost faceplanted. My buddy caught me, and then I had a seizure, right there, out of nowhere. Somebody called for an ambulance, and they rushed me to the hospital. Long story not quite as long. A bunch of tests later, they told me I have a brain tumor, something called a glioma, I think. The doctors believe they can take it out, but we are waiting on a second opinion. I am still here in the hospital waiting to find out when surgery will be. My friends called everybody, including Kate and her family. They showed up, but I missed them. First person I thought of when I woke up was her. We have talked a lot since then. She is the only visitor I am allowed right now, and she has been sleeping in that awful chair bed thing next to me. I have no clue what we are, but I still love her. When my lease is up, I am moving in with her family, since I will need help. I am scared, but I have people who care about me, and that is what matters.